But man, let's get to this main fucking event because it deserves all the time that we can give it.
Oh, I don't like the fight wasn't necessarily the greatest fight.
Yeah.
That's the greatest Brian Ortega we've ever seen in the octagon. He
Yeah.
looked so good as far as like skill set development,
Yeah.
taking off 22 months between his last fight.
Yeah.
His last fight, he got dismantled by Max Holloway, who was still a champion at the time. Like, he had to go through multiple surgeries, same thing we were saying. And that was his first loss. Good point as well. And he's going against Sung Jung, who's minus 200 in the betting odds, and he's plus 170, Brian Ortega. Even though he's ranked ahead, he's ranked number 2, and Korean Zombie's ranked number 4.
Time off? You think it was just
yeah.
in the time off?
Oh, yeah. He looked great, dude. Like, he dropped good. So like, they told him he could only have so many coaches, I guess, or something like that, like where he could train at. And so he was like, well, I'm a jiu-jitsu instructor myself and a black belt under the Gracies, like 3rd degree or something like that. So he's like, if I have to lose a coach, it has to be my jiu-jitsu coach because I already coach jiu-jitsu. I don't need that, obviously.
Yeah, that's like Tom Brady not needing a quarterback coach at that point.
Right. That's like Josh McDaniels didn't need to coach Peyton Manning when he was in Denver. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. Who the fuck
Peyton Manning would do it.
Yeah. Peyton Manning will coach him.
Yeah, precisely. And so, so Brian Ortega went and got these striking coaches, right?
Yes.
His striking looked fucking great last night, man.
Yeah, that's what, like, because Ortega was, like, up to this point essentially known as a grappler. And then
he was the guy that if you gave him your neck, he would end the fight.
And Korean Zombie was known as, like, a
striker,
a elite striker. And Ortega proceeded to just dismantle Korean Zombie from, like, the outside from striking. It was
all strikes.
Crazy.
All strikes
against the striker.
And Zombie has really good takedown defense. So I think Ortega kind of knew that coming in and was like, my striking needs to be clean.
Yeah, and they were fighting at featherweight, 145. Ortega was ranked 2, Zombie ranked 4. Sung Jung also is his government name, but God damn it, I guess if they're gonna market it as Korean Zombie, I guess I'll say Korean Zombie. But,
for real.
But man, round 1 was maybe the best round. It was a banger. But yeah, Ortega still took it. It was. He
scored a knockdown. Scored a
knockdown. I mean, let's just get this out of the way. It was all Ortega. Like, I literally gave all 5 rounds to Ortega.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah. 50-45. The judges all agreed 50-45.
Exactly. Like, it was weird. Because usually when a fight is this one-sided, it's like you can't really say it was entertaining. But because it was so unexpected, because it was a clinical striking performance
from Brian Ortega,
a grappler, it to me was still entertaining. Like, it would be like
the
Yankees like just won a game hitting small ball, just getting a bunch of singles and stealing bases, and you know what I'm saying?
It'd be like watching OU like learn how to run a pro style offense instead of a spread in one season and then come back and just do it and win the national title over Alabama and the SEC.
In like a 12-9 game. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Like with defense winning the game for us. Like that would be what it is. Like a complete change of character.
Just so unexpected. The story of this fight was not what happened, but how it happened. Because what happened, that's a one sentence. It was just domination. It was all Ortega. Like, I mean, on that front, there's not much to break down. But whenever you consider that, like, literally nobody saw this essentially happening from just like a precision striking, like just clinical performance from Ortega.
So I thought, honestly, though, at the opening of the second round, that Zombie was getting a little bit better of this, the trades here and there. And then that spinning elbow came in. And pretty much set the whole direction of the rest of the fight.
Yeah.
Like bar none.
Well, and we've seen it before. There's this, I don't even know if it's a vibe or a look or whatever, but when a fighter, whenever you can tell a fighter just has no answers. Like, there's just this definitive moment where he knows it, like both fighters know it, all the fans know it, the commentator knows it. There's just like quite literally no answer. Like everything you're trying is not working, and everything the other guy's trying is working like really well. Like, I don't know, it's just this moment of just like feels like you're looking at like a mouse dropped into a snake cage. You know what I'm
Like
saying?
like how frustrating does that have to be for Zombie, who definitely comes into this fight thinking, if I can keep it standing, I win.
Yes.
And
So
then he
like,
keeps it standing, and it's like, oh fuck,
yeah,
what's
there's just
happening?
exactly. There's just like this. Oh, exactly. It's like if it was a sitcom, it would like pause and be like, like how did I
Where
end
he
up
looks at the
here? Like,
camera and is like,
yeah,
what is happening?
yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly, man. Fucking Wayne's World moment was going on, and
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. It was bad at that elbow. I mean, Zombie was taking a lot of damage. He was leaking. He split his eye. From apparently it was a head clash, but
Head clash, I think late in the third or early in the fourth. Is that right? Late in the third, right?
yeah, late in the third. But it was like, I don't know. I felt like if it wasn't from a head clash, there was like 90 other strikes that it could have been from. Like he was getting beat the fuck up. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, my
it wasn't
notes.
like a head clash where you kind of feel like the head clash changed the fight. Like I don't know. Sometimes head clashes can sway a fight one way or another. Like this was
No.
going like this regardless of the head clash.
Yeah, because like even in my notes, like 30-27 after three, and then good fourth round for Ortega. I even noted that Zombie isn't getting like outclassed necessarily. He just hasn't won any of the exchanges. Like I guess that's
He
getting
had no
outclassed,
he had no
but like it
answer.
wasn't. Yeah, but it wasn't like he was getting dominated. It was just like he couldn't win the exchanges.
And man, I'll say it, man. I mean, hence the name Zombie. I mean, he's super tough.
Yeah, he
Kept
is
coming
tough as shit.
forward. Chin. I mean, he survived. He went all 5 rounds. He lost all 5 rounds, but he survived all 5 rounds. I mean, his cardio is there. I mean,
Ortega's cardio looked great though.
oh yeah, both of these guys. I mean, for a 5 rounder, I mean, they didn't. They were both fought 5 full rounds. Like they weren't struggling to make it the distance. I gotta just say, like Ortega first team all hog. I just bro,
Well, I was gonna say,
what's
like,
going
what's
on
up
here?
with
Is
the
his cup
cuffs? Like,
like
what's
9 sizes too big, or is he just
right? That's
literally
what I was
like,
gonna say. That's
does he
what I was
have a
gonna
baby
say. Is
leg?
like,
Like it was
right?
distracting, bro.
I'm glad you asked that because I
Hey, I'm
literally
sorry.
had a
Fuck
problem.
me.
Like, I was gonna ask, like, can he throw kicks with that shit? Like, I was confused, dude.
I was
Like,
like,
I was
what's going
confused. I was
on here?
legitimately confused. Like, I don't know if his like cup was fucked
But
up
like
or like,
McGregor, like would like get like boners when he would fight and shit. Like maybe he's just like one of like Mike Tyson talked about on Rogan. He would get hard when he would fight, like just from whatever, call it what you will, from just the thrill. I don't even know, just like Tyson would like get. I don't know, bro. There was a lot going on. There was a lot fucking going on.
all right, well, those guys all have fucked up brains, and that's probably an indication of why those cups are so large.
Bro, it looked like goddamn, yeah, like Austin Powers penis pump or some shit.
Dude,
I
their
don't
brain was definitely like, well, we're not smart enough to trick anyone, so with this hog just needs to be so long we can slide it in from a mile away. Like that was their reproductive body talking to him.
Oh my god, bro, it was so fucking funny. I just like kept cracking dick jokes the whole fight.
It's hilarious you say that about Connor because that's literally who fucking Ortega reminded me of when I looked at it. Whenever I saw it, I was like, the only person that wears a cup this oversized is Connor. Like it's the only other person. I don't know who else does that shit.
And it's so funny because it's funny either way because either he has a giant hog and he legit needs it, or he doesn't have a giant
Or just
hog
being
and
an
he
asshole.
Either way, it's
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
no,
sure.
for
I'm sure it
sure.
gets. I'm sure it gets any like women that watch the sport like gets their interest, right?
Yeah,
Because they're
yeah.
like, "Why is this cup like that?" And the guys in the party are just like, "His hog's massive" from the back, and they're just instantly like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." But meanwhile, me and you were like, "Well, it could be like 5 kinds of different
Bro,
cups.
I
Like he
know
could
a
be an
lot of guys.
asshole."
I
Yeah,
know a
like
lot of guys that would intentionally choose to fucking use a bigger
the
cup.
biggest cup possible. Like they're covering their whole fucking area.
Grown men too, like call it like I know, like bro, it's hilarious. Like I said, it's funny either way. But I know I had to fucking bring it up, bro. I just had to like I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like we didn't all just look at that.
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing it up because it was something out of fucking this world. Like it looked like he had a fucking cantaloupe growing out of his nuts. And I was just
Like,
confused.
bro, did you bring a squash, bro?
Or
Like,
I was like, bro, do you think he's throwing high thigh kicks and you're just trying to break his shin on like a steel cup and you got an oversized one? Like, what was your plans here?
Yeah, like I said, either way, like warranted or unwarranted, equally hilarious. But yeah, I
So
guess we'll get into the
I
nuts and
I,
bolts.
I
Go
think we
ahead.
should answer Jay's question,
Yes.
which is does does T City get worked by Volkanovski? Is Volkanovski next for T City? Is new and improved Brian Ortega actually a problem for Alexander Volkanovski? Like, where do you sit on this?
The fight, that's definitely the fight. Like that's
It's
the
the
fight.
fight. It's the
That's
fight.
the fight. And
Dana said that too, to
yeah,
like his credit.
I guess I'm going to give kind of a fence riding answer here. I think if Ortega looks like he just looked, I think he's just fine against anybody. Like it,
Even Max Holloway.
like against anybody. Because
Yeah,
no, like quite literally, this is a new thing. Like nobody's fought this Brian Ortega besides
absolutely
Korean
agree.
Zombie.
I
So
agree.
So yeah, I mean, to think like, after watching that, do I think he's gonna get outclassed and worked and beat the fuck up? Like, I don't personally. But like, it just like, was this some like fluky like moon aligns with Jupiter moment where just everything like went perfectly and we'll never see that again? Like you know what I'm saying? But if this is just what it is, like if what we saw is just like we can take it at face value and like this is the new Brian Ortega, then fuck no, I think he's going to be just fine. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be just like he'll win, but do I think he's going to be just like beat up and outclassed and work? No.
Man, to be honest, I think if this same Ortega that fought last night fights Volkanovski, that's big problems for Alexander Volkanovski. Like that's big fucking
I
problems.
like
And
the spicy take. I like it.
I think Volkanovski is aware of those being big problems too, because if you were seeing his tweets last night,
Yes, I wanted to bring that
he
up.
was saying like, "This is what I've been waiting for: someone to take that number one spot, someone to
Yes,
be a better challenger than Max Holloway. This is what I needed you guys to do for me in this division."
yeah,
And I think
he
it's
was paying mad respects, like mad respects,
and he's a genuine guy. He's a nice guy, but he's also a super competitive guy. So for him to do that, I almost think it was like him acknowledging like, "This is going to be tough for me. Like I got my work set out in front of me."
Me too, and it's not like the disingenuous like the high school head coach who's like, we beat this team by 60 points last year, but I'm trying to get my team to practice hard. He's like, these guys can win if you let your guard down. Like no, like it felt like legit. Like hats off, sir. Like I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to this.
it was like watch the tape. Okay, they're good. Their technique is there. Their size is there. We need to come up and we need to play. Like we're
yes,
gonna have to play to win this game. Like and
yeah,
I know you've been in film where your coaches have told you that, same as me. Like,
yes.
hey, like we need to do our job or we will not win the game.
Exactly, and I feel like that's the energy I was getting from those Volkanovski tweets.
And that's
it felt
great energy to
genuine.
get. Like that's great energy to get because then it's like that championship is contested and is like gonna be a good fight from both guys' perspectives. Like they expect that to be a good fight.
Yeah, man. Like honestly, like I was a little bit bummed that like this fight spent like no time on the ground. I don't know. Like, I thought after like 4 rounds of
Yeah,
getting the stand
well,
up, he maybe should have tried to get the sub victory. Or I don't know. Like because we know there's grappling's there was what I'm getting at.
but
But
if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Like if you're up
very
four
true.
rounds,
Yeah.
don't even try. Like you
True.
won four this way. But I agree
But
with
in the
you.
Volkanovski fight, he's probably going to have to use
He's
more
gonna
of
have
that.
to do that.
Yeah,
He's gonna
yeah.
have to do that for sure.
That's kind of what I was like getting into for sure. Yeah.
And it sounds like Ortega is pretty ready for the Volkanovski thing because I watched the UFC post fight night show or whatever it was with Michael Chiesa and all them, and he was saying that for Volkanovski he likes the way they match up, but that Volkanovski is just really good at winning the rounds through like point fighting. It was kind of like I don't think he's throwing shade. But it's honestly the
accurate
truth.
statement.
It's
Yeah,
honestly
yeah,
the
yeah.
truth. Like Volkanovski plays the game of like I don't think he won the fight against Max Holloway, but you could argue he won 3 of the
Yeah,
rounds.
man, but I'm saying that's what a lot of champions do, but like a lot of people
John
figure
Jones
that
is
out.
great at the point fighting
It's kind of like I don't know. I was watching Moneyball last night, and it so like it kind of
analytics. Yeah,
yeah, like nobody likes it. It's not fun. But like, good luck like finding an argument against it. Like, I mean, like Usman, like fucking, like a lot of these, like, you know what I mean? It's especially once you have the belt, because whenever you're on your way up, it's like fuck it, I'm risking everything. Like, but there's a transition that happens once you get the belt and you're defending it.
Because you don't want to lose it. It's not obtaining it. It's not losing it.
It's a totally different dynamic. It's defense versus offense, like quite literally. Like, and
Yeah, seriously.
yeah, and it favors like guys like Volkanovski figure it out. Like it does become about that. Like it's not about like if you have a belt and you've defended your belt a few times, like it's no longer about trying to win fight of the night bonuses and fucking performances. Like it's about like quite literally just winning the game. Like
Well, and at a point, it becomes about like attaining greatness is like over just your time, but like over the history of your weight class, right? Like that's what Khabib has set forth for himself. Is like he doesn't chase the belt now; he chases like being the greatest lightweight of all time, which requires him to win multiple fights as being the champion.
Yes, that very valid point. And also, or guys that can't kind of make that switch to the defensive mentality, those are the guys that chase multiple belts, right? Like there's certain guys just have it in their DNA that they just have to like just all gas, no brakes. Like I had forward only. Like
it's kind of like Conor. Like Conor doesn't seem like the guy to defend the belt. He seems like the guy to always chase the belt.
Yes, and he'll even vacate a belt if he has to. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.